It's Friday, fool! And you need this tool. What's up, guys? Welcome to another glorious episode of It's Friday, fool. You need this tool. This episode is a very special episode for me because I think this is my all-time favorite tool. I think it's like kids, though. I don't really think you can pick an all-time favorite, you know, but if you could pick an all-time favorite kid tool, I think this would be mine. I mean, it's definitely my favorite tool to play with. It's the funnest. It is the funnest. Funnest. On a serious note, this tool I would recommend to anybody as your first major tool. To me, it made my life so much easier. I waited way too long to buy one. I wish I'd have bought one like 10 years before I did. Now that I've got one, I would not trade it for anything. The tool that I'm referring to is my plasma cutter. Plasma cutter. This bad boy. Make some room here. Make some room. Try to give you a little plasma cutter education. And I'm not no specialist or anything on this, so this is just like my educational terms. Plasma cutter. The way a plasma cutter works, you have a ground. You ground your piece to. You actually have what I believe they call the torch, and then you need an air connection and obviously your power supply. This torch creates a plasma arc, or maybe it's just an arc, kind of similar to what you'd see in a welder. All right, so you touch the metal, it creates an arc, it starts to melt the steel, and while it's doing that, it's also blowing air out the end, which blows that magma or that plasma out of the way, cutting the steel like butter. Like butter. Cuts the steel like... Now, I don't know all the technical terms and exactly how it works, and I'm sure I'll get comments on here of all the science behind it. All I know is that it works amazingly. Amazing. Works amazing. I love this ESAB plasma cutter. I've had a couple of them. Nothing this size. This is probably the biggest one I've ever had. I'll tell you the main reason I love this thing is because what happens over time is these tips, they call them consumables, these tips will wear out. It makes the cutting not quite as accurate. I have not changed this tip since I bought this thing like 2 years ago, which is amazing. It's probably about time to change it now, but I hear a lot of complaints from a lot of other people about how fast they go through consumables, and I don't go through consumables at all. 2 years for a tip. So that's one big thing I love about this ESAB plasma cutter. This is one of their older models. They've since upgraded. I will put some links in the description as always. You can go check out these ESAB plasma cutters. I'll also put some other brands in there, and you can kind of look around and see what they're gonna cost and what kind of features they have. This one right here will just blow through some pretty thick stuff. And when I say blow through, I'm talking about like a perfectly straight cut, straight through steel, like butter. It doesn't get any better than that, especially when you're trying to work and get things done in a hurry. You're talking about spending a little money on this, but the time that it saves you on your projects, it makes up for what it cost, no doubt. This particular one has probably like a 25-foot cord, so the actual unit sits on the floor and I can drag this thing around everywhere and just cut all kinds of stuff up. If you go back and watch some of my older videos, you'll probably see this thing pop up a lot. I use it all the time. To be honest with you, I probably use it instead of sawzalls and bandsaws and all that kind of stuff. I mean, I just blast through with this, clean it up with a grinder, and I'm done. It's that easy. All right, guys, there you go. This week's tool. Like I said, links in the description. Go check them out. By a long shot, my favorite tool I've ever had. Makes things so much easier. And like I said, I wish I'd have bought one a long time ago. One last thing. I know I'm gonna get a lot of comments about people wanting to see it in action. So I'll tell you what I'm gonna do. Instead of showing you in action on this video here, I'll put some links into the description of some videos where I've used that plasma cutter making things. It's gonna be a better portrayal of what it can do anyway versus me just blasting through something right here on this video. I think that's it. It's Friday, fool!